Hello, hello, hello. Happy start of the week to you all. I hope you all have been setting those goals, crushing those goals to end out 2024 with a bang. If not, let's get to it. Okay. So today I just wanted to offer a little bit of encouragement to the person today who feel like I want to move forward, but I'm kind of scared. The person who is concerned about the haters, the person that's trying to be that perfectionist, that person who feels insecure and that they're not qualified to do what they feel in their heart that they should be doing, or they feel like they want to move forward, but they feel like they're stuck. I want to encourage you today to tell you that you were made and created for this. So why don't you work that? You were created for this. So why don't you work that? So many times we get caught up in the things that we see on social media. We look at social media, we look at people that are around us, and we feel like, I can't do it like that. It seems like they just going on forward. The thing that's great about social media, and I enjoy with myself, is that you can't see the behind the scenes. Because if some of you all saw the behind the scenes of what it took to get here, some of y'all be like, oh my, I can't listen to this live. I can't get any service of her, because it had to be a process. And what many of us fail to realize is each one of us have to go through that process. But are you willing to stick it out so you can walk forth greater than before? And the main thing about it is, when I talk about imposter syndrome, many of you have some things that you should be doing, some things that you have written out in your journal, some things people have spoken to you, and yet you're still sitting on it. You're stagnant, it's stale. You're waiting for the right word to come. You're waiting for the right opportunity. I am telling you now that the right opportunity is today. So if you're waiting for that person to say, go do it, I'm saying go. If you're waiting for that confirmation to say that you are able to do it, I'm here to tell you that you are. Because if it was put in you to do, it is supposed to come out of you. If it was put into you, it is supposed to come out of you. And you cannot be concerned with what you see on social media. We will get confused and thinking that everyone's life is perfect. The great thing about social media is what people allow for you to see. Even in those moments when even people say, oh, I'm just being transparent. No, you're not really seeing the deep of the depths. Trust and believe that. But the great thing about it is that you're able to go through that process, but the fruit of what you do, the fruit of who you are, will be able to be seen to those you are called to impact, and those you are in the world that you are called to, or you even interact with from day to day. They're able to see that change. They're able to see that glow. But I want you to accept the fact that you were called to this purpose. So go out and do that. What is it that's truly holding you up? The thing that I love about Jesus is when I talk about how, when I say a man who came in, God and man at the same time, but yet he still stayed focused on his purpose. He dealt with real human issues. He dealt with betrayal, even from his disciples, the people that were supposed to be in his quote unquote inner circle, wherein he said 3 times, and even in John 6:70, when he said, some of y'all in here are the devil. Now, let me pause there, because I can only imagine. My eyes would have been so big when he would have said, one of you all are the devil, because I've been like, Lord, let that not be me. That would have scared me. I have to pause on that for a second, because Jesus called people out on their stuff. He even told Peter, you're going to betray, you're going to be the one that's going to deny me. He also knew what Judas was going to do, but he did not allow for them to stop him from what he was called to do. You cannot be so focused on the haters and those who don't support you that it holds you back from doing what you are called to do. He was laser focused that he did not allow himself to get off track. And when I think about those things, there are some times when you're going to feel alone. There are going to be some times, like look at the life of Jesus, where he felt overwhelmed. There were moments when he was in that Garden of Gethsemane when he was crying to the point that his tears turned into blood. All of this sweat was blood because of the anxiety that he was dealing with so much, the anguish of knowing what was to come. So he dealt with human feelings. I know that he felt those moments when he felt alone. When he said, oh my God, how long do I have to stay with these people, Lord? He said, Jesus was the truth. He called it what it was. But he never allowed for himself to get off his purpose. You cannot allow yourself to get off your purpose because of your haters. You cannot allow yourself in this season to get distracted because of the lack of support that you feel like you should have received, or that person that you truly look up to and they didn't affirm you. You are already affirmed when you are created. Let me say that again. You are already affirmed when you were created. You had to go through some trials. You had to go through some situations. Yes, you had to deal with some things. Yes, some people may have mishandled you, but that does not define who you are. One thing that my mentor said, Mr. Myron Golden, if you all don't follow him, please follow him if you have a business and you're a Christian entrepreneur, definitely about kingdom business. But one thing that he said was that when we begin to start operating at a place of essence, we begin to accept our God identity as opposed to the lie identity. The lie identity of what we have received from society, the lie identity of saying what society says or what we need it to be, the lie identity of how people have told you and have degraded you, the lie identity of what we have received and we taught within ourselves. So when we begin to start receiving these lies, this in turn affects how we operate out in the world. We think, okay, well, we used to say that term, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words hurt. I have had people who have said some things to me that even though I held my head high during that time, but when I got home and I started reflecting on that thing, words hurt. They hurt. So when you continually receive those things within yourself, you begin to allow and think that you are an imposter. But I want you to go and start stepping into a room and claim that room like you know who sent you. Because when you realize who sent you and you are created by God, you're going to show up different. When you know that you are actually royalty and that you're not really this person that's just mundane, you begin to act different. Not saying that you filled up within yourself, but you filled up with God, knowing that he sent you. That when you open up your mouth, you realize that it's not out of your own strength. It's not out of your degree. It's not out of your connections, but it's because of who sent you. Accept that, because the word reminds us that when we were created in our mother's womb, he already had us on his mind. So when he started crafting, he was like, let me give a little spazzle dazzle here and there. Now she might have a little of this of a mom and dad, grandparents, ancestors here and there, but I'm going to give a little spazzle dazzle to her. I'm going to give a little special to him. So whenever they show up, it's going to be a little different because you have a specific purpose that you're supposed to fulfill. Do not allow yourself to die filled up with so many things that you're supposed to fulfill now. So get past the imposter syndrome. Number one, first realize and know who sent you. Know who you are and own it. Number two, own it. When you begin to take ownership of who you are, you begin to show up different and start taking on the God identity and not receive the lie identity that so much of us have taken on. I just know for myself that when people begin to start saying stuff to me or when people begin to mistreat me, I begin to start thinking, God, I show people so much love. If any person get to know me as a person, I'm very quiet once you meet me, but I'm very talkative once you get to know me. Because I'm very much an assessor, very much a discerner. I discern your spirit, your motives, all of that. So God shows me how to maneuver with people, but I still show love even to people that I perceive and I know that you don't like me like that. Still show love. And I began to start thinking, it started happening time and time again. And I'm like, what in the world is wrong with me? Because I show people so much love. And it seems like they constantly take. And it's causing me to build up resentment within myself. And then I begin to start accepting that maybe I am not good enough. Maybe accepting the fact that maybe I'm not supposed to be loved like this. Accepting the fact, well, this is just subpar of what it is. So I just need to be able to take the crumbs. But then when I begin to start doing that inner work within myself, got into therapy, began to start doing that inner work of time and prayer, began to start doing that inner work of ensuring that I begin to start speaking life over myself and look at myself in the mirror and saying, girl, you are here for a purpose. Or start accepting myself as the king's daughter. That means that I am a queen and a princess. So you're not going to handle me any kind of way. So I can show you love, but I'm going to show boundaries as well. So when I begin to show up in a room, I'm not going to show up with the ownership of who I am and all about seeing me, but I'm going to let that glow shine through because I know who sent me now. When you begin to know whose you are, you begin to show up different. So release that imposter syndrome. Release the fact that you are an imposter because you are not an imposter. You were created for a purpose and a plan. And I think I said imposter a while ago. Y'all don't. I think I was feeling it. So be in the right posture though. I'm gonna fix it up. Jesus. Help me, Lord. Get in the right posture. Hold your head up high. You are that queen. You are that king. Show up in that room like you meant to be there. Show up at that church like you're supposed to minister that gift. Show up in your community and at your job like you're supposed to be and carry yourself as the royalty that you are. You are not an imposter. We don't care about the Judases. We don't care about the Peters. We can still show them love, but I got to stay focused. I got to stay focused on my purpose. I got to stay focused on what I'm called to do. And I cannot allow myself to get distracted this time because greater is ahead. So I hope you all have a great day. For those who are in the U.S. of America, please go out and vote. There's early voting has started. This is a crucial time for us to be praying. Not only are we praying, but we need to be going to vote. So make sure, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not going to even talk about the political agenda. You do your own research yourself and you do whatever you feel led to do. But please, please, please rock the vote and go vote today. Use your voice and let's go out, claim our purpose, and let's go out and walk greater because you are great. You are that king. You are that queen. So let's get it and let's go in purpose. Have a great day and see you all in the next